I married my coach before he tried to kill me, then fell in love with rival. Now Sydney Sweeney will play me in movie. Boxing icon admits surviving the murder attempt was her greatest victory. Christy Martin had a life and career fit for the big screen. And her story from escaping death to marrying an old opponent is heading to Hollywood. The boxing legend was stabbed and shot by her ex-husband and trainer Jim Martin after years of abuse. It threatened to bring a tragic end to one of the sport's most inspiring and influential careers. But after overcoming the frightening ordeal, Christy revealed in a Netflix documentary how surviving that day was her greatest victory. She said, "I came to some realization that I got my 50th win when I got off the floor." November 23, 2010. Christy's boxing journey began in 1986 when she was dared by her friends to enter a tough woman contest. She knocked out all 3 of her opponents and pocketed $300. While becoming hooked on the sport, Christy was then put in contact with Coach Jim by a promoter, and her life would never be the same. Jim, embarrassed at the thought of even training a woman, instructed his boxers to try break Christy's ribs and punch her out the gym. He soon found out that was not an option. Christy was forced to fight for free to even get a shot by promoters, earning as little as $60 if she ever did get paid. But as her knockout streak grew, so did her relationship with Jim, before one day something out of the ordinary happened. Christy revealed, after one of the fights, "You know, you're so excited, and everyone's so happy. And I kissed him. I don't even know what happened." Christy had grown up a secret lesbian, hiding it from her family despite being in a relationship with an old school friend, Sherry Lusk. She soon went public with her relationship with Coleman Jim, who was 25 years her senior and even older than her dad. The two married in 1991, after buying their rings from Walmart, and 3 years later, Christy was signed to legendary but controversial promoter Don King. November 23, 2010, an argument broke out between Christy and Jim following a physical altercation. Jim stabbed Christy 4 times and ignored her desperate pleas to help. Christy said, "He stopped everything and just left me laying there. I could hear my lung gurgling, so I know it's filling up with blood. He's walking in and out of the room to see if I had to die yet. I'm begging him, please don't let me die. I'm sorry, Jim. I made a mistake. Truth is, I love you." But then by the time I realized he can't let me live, I was like, "Oh, F you. I never loved you. You've been a piece of shit the whole time. I'm your personal ATM. You've done nothing but use me." Jim did eventually walk back towards Christy, only to fire a shot into her torso. As her former trainer took a shower, Christy miraculously escaped the house onto the road, where a stranger took her to hospital. Jim fled and slept in a tool shed behind an abandoned home, still clutching onto a blood-soaked knife, until police found him. The murder attempt exposed Christy's sexuality, but she received widespread support from the boxing world. Christy had just one more fight, losing in 2012, before suffering a stroke. By that time, her and Sherry had split up and soon whole wine. Almost a decade from their bitter bout, got back in touch. Jim was also standing trial in 2012 and was later sentenced to a minimum of 25 years in prison for the attempted murder.